you made some comments about the American Republican presumptive nominee, Donald Trump. You called him brilliant, outstanding, talented. These comments were reported around the world. I was wondering what in him led you to that judgment, and do you still hold that judgment?
Вы известный человек в нашей стране, вот вы лично.
You personally are very famous in our country. You are not only famous as a journalist in one of the biggest TV stations, but as an intellectual. Why do you always change the meaning of what I said? Because at the moment, you speak as a journalist, not as an analyst.
Посмотрите, что я сказал.
Why are you juggling with what I said? I only said that he was a bright person. Isn't he bright? He is. I did not say anything else about him. But there's one thing that I paid attention to, and that I definitely welcome, is that Mr. Trump said he's ready to restore full-fledged Russian-American relations. What can there be bad about it? Don't you welcome it? We all welcome it. But we never interfere into the internal political processes of other countries, especially those in the United States. We are ready to work with any president that the American people will vote for. Actually, they always teach others how to live. But do you think that the elections are democratic in the United States? Do you think that they are organized democratically? Because you know, twice in U.S. history, the American people, the majority of the people, elected persons who had not been supported by the majority of the people because they were chosen by people who had the right to vote. My colleagues and I never blamed anyone, but when we discussed, they just said, don't meddle into this. We are doing it the way they are used to. But then what I feel like saying is then, why are you meddling with our affairs? But I'd like to say again that, of course, it's none of our business. But you know, I heard that American prosecutors were trying to get rid of the international observers at the voting stations. But they are used to it. They like it. They like it the way it is. The U.S. is a great power. At the moment, it is probably the only superpower, and we accept this fact. We want to work with the U.S., and we are ready to do that. And no matter how these elections are held eventually, they will be held, there will be a new head of state elected. They will have broad authority. I know that there are complex economic and political processes in the United States. At the moment, the world needs a country as strong as the U.S. is. And we do need the U.S. too. But what we do not need of them is to interfere with our affairs all the time, to instruct us how to live, to prevent Europe from building relations with us. You know, the sanctions that you've mentioned is the U.S. touched by the sanctions? No, they have not suffered. They have not suffered from the sanctions in any way. It is Europe that has been affected by the sanctions, and Russia has been affected as well. But for the U.S., no, there has been no effect. But the Americans persuade their partners to continue the sanctions. Why? Maybe Matteo can explain to us why they have to continue suffering from the sanctions. And the Americans try to persuade them to endure the sanctions for some more time. Why? Matteo is a wonderful speaker. He spoke so persuasively and sincerely. Italy can be proud of such a prime minister because he spoke so beautifully today.